Welcome to Seaford. You are joining me in January 2025 on a pretty chilly, misty, grey morning in search of an early place. Now, it is still early in the season, as we know, but Seaford can throw up early place, and it has done in the past. Although the last couple of years, the Plaice fishing down here has been a little bit less good, shall we say, than it was a few years back. The best fish I've had down here was a 48 centimetre beauty. That was up what we call the deep end, and today I'm fishing near the yacht club. So the tactics, we have some not so fresh lug. There we go. That was pumped exactly 1 week ago, and it's been sitting pretty in my fridge. I've got 3 wraps, well 2.5 wraps of that, and I've also got 1 wrap of frozen with me, so I haven't got a lot of baits. It's going to be a fairly short session. In terms of rigs, I've already got 1 rod chucked out, and we'll take a look at the rig on that when I reel it in. That's got a 1 hook bar rig on it, and my other 2 rigs for today are going to be 2 hook loop rigs. I'm just going to get one of these unwound now. They got spllashdowns at the bottom, size 2, super match hooks, and that's what is on my bar rig as well. This one's going to have a grip lead. There we go. And my other one, until the tide starts ripping, I'm going to try this plain lead to get it rolling around a little bit. So let's take a look at the 2 hook loop rigs. Got 18-inch snoods. Let me just check. Got the packet here. Yeah, 18-inch snoods, 20 pound, 0.43 fluorocarbon, and that's a 60 pound Xenon rig body. So there we are. So the top snood there with the half SRT spring, and the 18-inch snood there, and that's got a little bait stop and a sequin just above the hook. Middle snood, we've got the cascade swivel there trapped in the middle of the rig body with my rig gum stops, which I like to use. And we'll take a look at the bottom snood. So the bottom snood, here we've got, it's easier when this is clipped on the rod, isn't it? So I don't get a tangle then. We've got a little bit of tubing there, which I like to use to just kick that away from the grip lead. I'll sort the angle of that lead out in a second. It's not hanging very well. And then we've got the 18-inch snood there with the cascade swivel in the middle to allow us to get it all clipped up. So we'll take a look at that when it's clipped up on the rod. See you shortly. So rods I've got with me today. Well, unusually I brought my Centuries. So pretty much all the time I use my competition performance. But today we have my Tip Tornado Supermatch Graphics rods. One's already cast out, as I've already said, so we get this one set up as well. The one I've already cast out, I've got one of my Dye with Super Tunes on. This one is going to be paired with my Fathom 15 Casting Special. Beautiful reel. So we get this on. Distance is the name of the game with these early Plaice sessions. So that's why one reason I bought these rods. I can just get it a little bit further with these than I can with my competition performance rods. I set my PB over grass with these rods of 170 metres, just over, which was 186 yards. So I know I can whack it with these rods. Obviously that's just with a lead and without bait, but not a bad distance really, is it? Alright, let's get this attached. I'll get my rigs on, and I just said I was using a 2 hook loop rig. Sorry, it's actually a 3 hook loop rig. I can't count, even though obviously, I say obviously, even though I have a PhD in maths, clearly I can't count to 3. So my 3rd rig of choice is indeed a 2 hook loop rig. So we'll take a look at that one as well when I've got the line up the eyes. So here we go, this is my 2-hook loop rig. Again, we've got the spring at the top, just like the other rig. These ones got slightly larger hooks. This has got size 1/0 saltwater champions. There we go. I want a big Plaice. And again, I've got a little bit of tubing there, just for the bottom snood to kick that away from the grip lead. And then what I like to do on my loop rigs, you can see there, I've got the cascade swivel, but a little mini snood clip beneath it allows me to unclip that bottom hook should I want to use, sorry, I can't hold it very well because my fingers are so cold, should I want to use the through the gills unhooking method. And for the minute I've put my plain lead on this one, but my friend Becky, she just said the tide is ripping a bit now, so we might not keep that, sorry, I've got the hook caught around the tripod. We might not keep this plain lead on very long, but we'll see how we get on. But yeah, we're going to get some bait on this and we get it chucked out. In case you're thinking it's still a bit early for these Plaice, Becky did just land a 39 centimetre beauty, so they're out there. We've got a chance. They might be small in numbers, we'll find out as the session goes on. But we're after an early Plaice, let's see if we can pick one up. So here we go, we've got all that clipped up with those beautiful baits. Let's stand around there, you see them a bit better. There we go, look, beautiful lugworm ready to be launched out to sea. But before I do that, I'm going to bring my tripod up here because the tide's coming in. Let's get this pop down out the way and I'll see you shortly. Let's get these baits out there. Sort out my drop length. I don't think my line lay was terribly good on my last chuck. Tighten the mags up a little bit and we're good to go. There we go. Launch to sea goes the Plaice's tea. Well, my first chuck's been out there a good half hour. As with Plaice fishing, we tend to sit on our hands and leave them out, don't we? So we're going to reel that one in now. It's been out a bit of time. This was the 1-hook bar rig, and I'm ready to go. I've got that 3-hook loop rig that I incorrectly described as a 2-hook loop rig just now. This one's out a fair old weight. There's been another Plaice caught further up the beach as well, so there are a few here. Hopefully we can pick one up for the camera. I'm going to call it and say we've got one on here. Always difficult to tell on the first chuck, at least I find it anyway. You've got to get used to how that lead's going to pull over the seabed, what the tide pool's like, and all that jazz. No! Damn it! Nothing on the bar rig. Looks like something might have sucked at the bait. Hard to tell though. We'll get this changed over for the 3-hook loop rig. Right, so I'll pop that lid down by my tripod leg so I don't lose it on the beach. Get this one clipped on. There we go. So this is the 3-hook loop rig all clipped up. Bring that up to the camera. So there we go, we've got a lug at the top, lug in the middle, and a nice one at the bottom. And you can see that there, that bit of tube just kicking away from the snood, sorry, from the rig body, holding it away from that lead. So I'm going to get these baits out and see if the 3-hook rig can get more scent out. The distance won't be as far, but we've got 3 hooks with 3 worms spreading more scent. So which tactic is going to work today? Let's see. Well, nothing on the bar rig. Let's reel in the 2-hook loop rig with the plain lead. It's not drifted around, it's pretty much dead straight out. And I can say with confidence there's no fish on this one. So we'll get this reeled in. I've got the bar rig rebaited and ready to go, so we'll take a look at that. Slid around a little bit. We'll take a look at that once this is in. and I'll reposition my reel. I had to put a little bit of tape under the reel seat when I used this the other day, just to get it to be held in place with the coasters. I think it's just causing it to slip a little bit. I'll sort that out. It's got a nice fast retrieve on this reel. Oh, we've got a failure to launch. Nobody likes that, do they? Look at that. The hook has obviously, when it's come off the imp, has gone through the clip. So that's no good at all, is it? That's why one reason I've switched over to using splashdowns now on the rigs when I make up new rigs. Seem a little bit more reliable. Release better, don't come unclipped when I'm on the ground casting. Well, not me on the ground, obviously, the lead. When my lead is on the ground, ready to cast, it doesn't come out the splashdown. So this is the bar rig. Let's take a look at this. This has actually got a 4-foot snood on it. Right, let me come back over to the camera. So we've got the grip lead at the bottom, and I put a splashdown on the bottom of the bar, that yellow splashdown I got there. And then we've got this bar, and on the bar you can see the hook. Come back a little bit, there we go, the hook is in the splashdown. I've got a green pop-up, and then a cascade swivel clips that into a swivel that's on the bar, and that's a really nice compact rig. And then I've got this massive loop that is a 4-foot snood, allowing the bait to waft around and hopefully entice that Plaice. So I'm going to get this one whacked out, and we'll see if we can pick something up on its second chuck. Well folks, it's absolutely freezing cold. I've only had a couple of casts, but you know what, it can only be time for one thing. Get the jet boil on. I've got my lovely cup, it's going to keep my tea nice and warm, and we'll get this set up. Cheers everyone, that's going to warm me up. Just what I need, a little caffeine hit. So Plaice fishing in January, eh? It's not exactly non-stop action, but at least we're trying out the tactics that we hope are going to work when the Plaice arrive en masse, which might be, I don't know, late February if other years are anything to go by. So it's given me a chance to try out these rigs. Not that I'm really trying them out, you know what I mean though. Just seeing how I get with them, comparing the different distances I'm getting. The bar rig definitely went the furthest, which you would expect because it's only got one hook and it's really streamlined. And the other two rigs, well, failure to launch on the 2-hook loop rig, never a good thing. And to be honest, that rig I did make a long time ago. I don't make them like that anymore. It's just one I happen to have languishing in the bottom of my box, so I thought I'd use it today. And when I'm seriously fishing for Plaice, when they should have arrived properly, we'll be doing away with that and sticking to rigs that I know are going to unclip more reliably. But as it is, I'm enjoying my hot cup of tea. It's a little bit too hot to drink still. So I'm just gently sipping it while watching my rod tips. They're sitting pretty still. It's so cold down there. Some people fishing much further up the beach have actually lit a fire because it is freezing. I think the wind chill combined with the mist is just making it a little bit, unpleasant. My fingers are looking a little bit cold. Maybe that might not come out on camera, but they're looking about 10 years older than normal. They've gone all crinkly. But anyway, I'm going to pop the lid on my tea. We're going to reel one in and take a look at the bait. So I'll just put my tea down in my shelter and you'll see me back in a second. Right, pop that down. Just balance the lid on so a bit of heat can get out. And we'll take a look at this rig. I think this is the 3-hook. Yeah, this is the 3-hook loop rig. So this was more scent, less distance. And again, it's gone out quite a way. So have a look. I've already reeled it in a little bit, but a little bit of line off the reel. So we know of 3 plaice that have been caught further along the beach. 2 by Becky and 1 by someone else a bit further up. Becky's was 39, the bigger one of the 2. Nice fish. Skinny this time of year though, no point coming out to catch plaice if you want to eat them. As we know, they come in late winter, early spring to fatten up after getting all skinny through the harder months. Nothing on this. So we get this pulled up the shingle, get my leader not in the right place. See if anything's had a go at the baits. Let's have a look. Nope, those 3 are all untouched. Look at that. So it makes me more convinced that bar rig did have something sucking on the worm, because it didn't come back looking pristine like these ones. All 3 are like that. Look like they've only been just sitting in the sea for a little bit and nothing showing any interest. So we get these rigs swapped over. I've got the 2-hook loop rig clipped up ready to go with that plain lead on. I think I'll cast from up here now. There's a little bit of space down there still where the sea's coming up, but it's going to be a bit hampered with the bank behind me. So we cast from up here. I'm just going to walk down to my left a bit. I'll take you with me and we get this 2-hook loop rig back out with the plain lead. It's tide still not ripping, which is a bit of a shame because we do know that a bit of tide helps the fish feed or makes them come on the feed. But this plain lead, it's just been sitting pretty still while it's been out there. So I'll just pop you there, just about there. Right, let's get this out. I forgot to put my thummy on, but I'm sure I'll be able to grip it nice and tight. Actually, now I'm here, yeah, I think we can walk down there, you know. I think we have still got enough space. Come on. I don't want to be lazy. We'll go down this steep bank. Hopefully not fall over. I've got a dodgy left knee. I'm not going to use that as an excuse not to walk down here though. Right, I'll just pop you down here. Sorry if you're a bit off the level. There we go. Try and level you up a little bit. It's a bit tricky on her. Right. Let's get this out. Just check my drop length. I'm not used to casting these rods, so they're a slightly different length to my normal ones. And I'm still trying to work out exactly where the best spot is to line my weight up with on the rod. Let's try a little bit longer. If I'm going a little bit to the left, I find if I'm casting to the left, it can be a sign that my drop's not long enough. Right, let's get it out. Come on. Well, that one went nice and straight and I had a slightly longer drop. A little bit of overrun, but I've definitely managed to tame this reel far better than it was. So there we go, look. Not bad for someone of just under 5'3". casting off the ground, if I do say so myself, especially in this freezing cold weather. Let's get my hood back up. Right, I'll see you in a bit. We're just taking a walk down the beach because Becky has had a tiniest of bites on one of her rods. So we're going to walk down. When she reels it in, we'll see if there's anything on there. And when I say tiny bite, I mean minuscule, and she's using braid as well. So maybe there's something on the end. We'll find out in a minute. There we go. Look, I think Becky's baiting up at the minute. Don't know how much you can see there. Hi, Becky.
Hi.
I'm the only one with a mic, so I'll come over. Oh, I've thrown the mic away. Look. Oh, I think my camera's at a terrible angle. But there we go. So you just had a little bite, didn't you?
Yeah, just a little bite. I reckon it's probably just a whiting or something, or maybe a rockling. I don't think it's a Plaice. I'd be very surprised if it's a Plaice.
You've already had a couple of Plaice, though, haven't you?
Yeah, one of 39 and one of about 30.
39 and 30, yeah. Not bad.
Not bad.
And you got what?
January.
Fresh lug, rag.
Yeah.
You got some shellfish there as well.
Yeah, I haven't used it. I've used shellfish once, but kind of persisting with the rag and the lug because it tends to be a better
combo.
Better combo for the baits.
Yeah. Well, it's nice you've got a nice variety. All I've got today is lug.
It's a bit of rag on me. Help yourself to that. I won't use all that.
Cheers. There we go, look.
Yeah, got that clipped up and ready to go out. So we want to bring that one in that's got a whiting on.
Yep. Right, let's get the camera switched around in a minute. All right, Becky's just reeling in now. So we're going to see if this little tiny fish is on the end. It might be a Plaice. There we go. Becky says might be a Plaice. It was the delicatest of touches, wasn't it?
It's a bit too pingy for a Plaice.
Yeah, normally I like sit and just bend the tip round a little bit, wouldn't they? Occasional doot doot. Yeah, you haven't you? Right, I'll tighten up the other line. A little bit of cross line going on. Still tight. You don't think so? No. Rockling? This is a Plaice fishing video. Nothing. There's definitely a bite though. Definitely a bite. Looks that lug looks a bit mangled. Yeah. Oh well. No fish on camera yet, guys. Well, Becky didn't have a fish on, which was a bit of a shame, but it's time to reel in one of these and get it checked. Let's go for the one with the plain lead, which is out further than the other one. Let's see, is there anything on there? No. Have the baits been attacked? They have. It has been absolutely stripped clean, look. Absolutely stripped clean. Not a single bit of bait left on either hook. I don't think that's a very good sign, to be honest. We'll get this rig changed over though. Stick the other one out. I'll put a bit of elastic on next time I bait up to help hold the worms on. But we don't like getting stripped, do we? Certainly not when it's freezing. Oh, I'm on fire. Right. Okay, get my hood down, get the baits back out. My hands are absolutely freezing. Honestly, it's Baltic down here today. I'm not going to put my thumbie on because it was cutting the blood off. And an already freezing cold thumb, cutting the blood off was not sensible. Right, let's get that lead roll on it. Baits are out. Still a little lively, this reel. I think this is the livelier of the two super tunes I've got. I'm going to put a bit thicker oil in it before I bring it out again, if I have time. maybe after my next session. It's just lifting a little tiny bit, but it has got like tournament grade rocket fuel in there. Even though I changed the bearings back to the original ones, still just a little bit lively with that light oil. There we go. It's back out. So I'm going to try and get some warmth back in my hands, rebake that other rig, then we'll check the other one. Well, it's time to check the other rod. Let's see if there's anything on here. I've got my 2-hook loop rig rebaited, ready to go, and Becky very kindly gave me some ragworm. So I've now got lug and rag cocktails on there. Let's see if that can make the difference. So I'm reeling in now the Bagnall bar rig. Which has got its lovely long 4-foot snood. It's not getting tangled. Considering there's little tide, I'm actually quite pleased it's not getting tangled. Sometimes the tide rips through here, and even with 6-ounce grips you struggle to hold, a bit like down Langley Point. I'm enjoying using this casting special though. I've treated myself to it for Christmas. And anyone who watches The Shore Hunter, also known as Wayne, you'll see me using it for the first time there in his video when that goes up. Might have gone up already by the time my one from today goes live. And the first fish I caught on it was a beautiful codlin. I always like to christen a new reel or rod with a nice species of fish, not on like a whiting or something. So I was well pleased about that. That went nearly in. I think there is a little bit of left to right movement in the tide now, because this has definitely gone down to the right a little bit. Well, this casting special is lovely and smooth to cast. I've got a pair of Fallon 15s as well that are the casting specials. Look at that, bait stripped again. That's 2 casts on the trot now, where every bit of bait, look, has gone. Absolutely nothing left on that. So I'm going to start using a bit of elastic, and hopefully that'll stop these baits coming off. So we'll get this bar rig swapped over for the 2-hook clip down and get it sent back out. Now it's January, so I wouldn't have thought it was crabs, but you never know, do you? Things are changing all the time. But here we are, I've got this loop rig rebaited, my 2-hook one, with those lug and rag. Now, I wouldn't make my rigs like this anymore, I mentioned that earlier I think. I wouldn't use a bit of yellow tube, and I'm going away from imps and using splashdowns. But yeah, the yellow tube, I don't know, I just prefer clear these days. I try and keep my rigs a bit more stealthy. I know I'm saying that with a bright green lead on the end, but generally I'll go for stealthy rigs these days with little bling. And if I do use a bit of bling on my snoods, it tends to be pop-ups to add movement rather than colour for attraction. So that's my take anyway. Let's get these baits back out. I might try this one a little bit closer in, even though we do say distance is everything this time of year. I'm not going to walk very far away this time because the tide is now definitely, I can see my other line now has pulled right round. It's definitely got a bit of left to right movement, but this one's going to go a little bit closer. Hopefully we won't get a blow up. So I'll cast that to the left because it is going to run to the right. That's about 2/3 the distance I was going. We'll see what happens there. But I'm definitely not impressed with having stripped hooks. Right, let's rebait this one. And you see there, that's my pop-up. That's about as blingy as my Plaice rigs get. All personal choice, that's what I like best. I prefer the added distance that you get without having extra stuff on the snoods. But anyway, I'm going to get that rebaited and try and re-warm these hands. Should have brought some hand warmers today. So I've got my bar rig here and I've rebaited the hook. You see I've got a nice big long snood on there. And look at that. That is a lug with some elastic to hold it on. tipped off with a ragworm. In fact, I don't like the way that's just snuck around the point of the hook there. So I'm going to pull that up a little bit more, move the bait stop up, give it a bit more room. There we are. Now you can see the point of the hook there. We're going to get that clipped up and it's ready to go for next time I reel in. Well, I was just sitting down for a bite of lunch and I had a bite on the right hand rod. That's the one with the 2-hook loop rig and the plain lead on it. Tiniest of bites like Becky had earlier. So I'm not hopeful that it's a Plaice, but it is a sign of life in the sea. Is that the 2-hook loop rig? No, maybe that's the 3-hook loop rig. Yeah, that's the 3-hook loop rig with the grip lead. 3-hook loop rig with the grip lead. Tiniest of little knocks. So because I am after a Plaice, you never know, it could have been, even though it wasn't a typical Plaice bite. I'm going to sit on my hands, I'm going to give it 5 minutes or so and keep an eye on it, and I'll bring you back when we reel it in. Well, that bite is still there, so we're going to reel it in. See if we've got anything on the end. Definitely didn't look Plaicey, but hopefully it's a fish. Yeah, there's some weight on here. Definitely some weight. Well, conveniently, the battery said it had 35% left when I was reeling that in, and it just died. We didn't have a fish. The hooks were looking pretty stripped. So there's a sign of life in the sea. But Becky's just reeling in. I might have a fish. I'm just going to keep an eye. Let's walk over. Let's see if there's anything on the end. She also just caught obviously either a pout or a whiting. I was a little bit too far away to see exactly what it was. But that's probably what that little bite I was getting was from. That's probably why I've been getting stripped hooks. But let's see. It'd be nice if there's a Plaice on there. It's all riding on you, Becky.
Feels kind of flat fishy.
Flat fishy. Let's get the camera in a better place. There we go. Let's see. Is there going to be something on the end? How exciting.
Certainly not March, is it?
No, it's definitely not March. Oh no! Oh no! It's a ting.
Wrong, it's a whiting.
It's a whiting. That's going to go back. That's not what we came for. But it's a bad sign.
At least it's not like straight on there.
Oh yeah, there's not millions of them out there, is there? But I've had 3 casts now, reeling in with all my hooks stripped clean.
Have you?
So it's not a good sign at all. But I'm going to go and rebait the rig I just reeled in. And we'll keep trying for a Plaice, even though it is Baltic. Well, we didn't come for whiting, did we? But it's time to reel in the one on the left. To be honest, I haven't seen any nibbles on this one, but I've been a bit busy with the other one, baiting up, talking to Becky, you know how it is. I'm just interested to know if we've got any bait left on there. This was the plain lead 2-hook loop rig. It's getting pretty close to high tide, at least I hope it is, given how close the sea has got. Well, we've still got some bait on this one. This was the one I plopped in closer. Now, both the hooks, though, have been attacked. It's like the rag's been taken and the lug's been left, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? Let's take a look. So there's the top hook. Oh, if I can get it off me. There we go, look. A blob of lug, and the rag has mostly gone. There's a tiny little bit of the rag left. Anyway, I'll get this unclipped, get the other one sent out. Make sure that don't come unclipped before we chuck it out there. So there's just straight lug on this. I'm using the frozen now. Oh, got a bit of tangling going on around the top height. Get that off. There we are. Check the drop length, a little bit longer. Spot on. Right, we're good to go. Not the best cast in the world. I am freezing. Ho, ho, ho. Should have brought some hand warmers with me and put my thermals on. Alright, so let's get this rig sorted out. So I'm going to take off the old bait first. It's got a bit of elastic on, so I'm just going to have to work it over the eye of the hook. Chuck that away. I'm sure some seagull will enjoy that later. I did the same at the bottom. Get that off. A lot more bait been taken off the bottom hook than the top. Try and keep my hands dry while I'm doing this because it is, like I say, freezing. Right, got my frozen lug here. So I'm going to get 2 of these. I'm going to trim them, get my scissors. So we'll cut off these manky tails. Trim off the heads. Get my bait needle. Not that one. This one is a shore hunter bait needle. Wayne gave me that as a gift. Called the Big Dong. It was brilliant when I was out fishing with Wayne for putting whole pout on. Big 8/0 hooks. When we were trying to catch a conger the other day. The video will be up on the Shore Hunter YouTube channel. Alright. Very squidgy, small black lug these. I'm trying not to exit the worm before I get to the end. There we go. So I get bait elastic, my Baytech. Whip that on. Wayne also gave me some of his Shore Hunter bait elastic, which is also made of latex. Nice thick stuff, perfect for the pouts. Let's get these on. Becky's coming to see us. I'm going to go straight lug again. Try a bit of rag in a minute. But there we go, bait on the hook.
Oh, sorry.
We'll do the same on the other one. Becky's coming with tails of tuners and rods getting pulled in. Not us, I might add. Right, get the other one on. Keep the bait small this time. There we go. Baited up, ready to go. Just got to clip it up, hang it back on the tripod. Well guys, we're back down with Becky, who had a better bite, but we still fear it might be another ting. Nothing on there? Indeed, nothing on there.
Smash the baits up.
Yeah.
It's that bagnard by me. I don't like it when it's tangled like that. That's what puts me off it.
Yeah. Well, no fish, but it was definitely a better bite. Let's keep trying. Well, Becky didn't have that fish. It's time to check the one on the right. I did have a little nibble on it, so I fear what may have happened to my baits. So it's definitely time to reel it in because there's no point leaving it out there if the hooks might have been stripped. I can't remember what rig's on this one. This might be the bar rig. It feels like there's a little bit of weight on this one. But I have said that in the past. It could just be those grip leads digging in, or the grip lead digging in. Obviously there's only one on there. It's getting near the edge. It's pulling back. Well, I say near the edge. It's still a little way out. Grip leads are good at pulling back, aren't they? Nothing. The grip lead fights back. That's what today's episode should be called, isn't it? The grip lead fights back. But what about the bait though? Untouched. So that's a good sign. I don't want my baits being nicked. But I do have a little knot in the line here to undo. Let's just get unclipped. There we are, sorted. Pop that out of the way. And we have the 2 hook loop rig on a plain lead. ready to go out. Now, I've put my leader knot on the wrong side of the spool, so I'll try and remember that when I cast this out. Right. Well, that one flew out. That plain lead does fly nice through the air. Little overrun. I do like these reels. Very nice to use, so smooth. Little chilly on the fingers though. Oh, Becky's got a double shot of whiting. This really is not what we wanted to see. We came for the early Plaice. We're getting the pesky tings. But there's fish in the sea. At least I'm not catching whiting. I don't really fancy getting one today. I get slimy hands on hooking it. And it's a little bit too cold for slimy hands. See you in a bit. Well, we're going to check the baits again. Becky's just reeling in. She's been getting pestered by little whiting taps. I've noticed little whiting taps. I hope I haven't hooked any whiting. The ones she has brought in over there have been very small, pesty little things. I mean, it would be nice to beat a blank, wouldn't it? But I didn't come to catch whiting today. We're about 20 minutes off high tide, I think. The water's coloured up a little bit more than it was when I got here, which explains why the whiting have moved in. We want it to clear out, not colour up. It does feel like I've beaten the blank on this one though, but there's a little bit of a dump at the edge, which could be just pulling back a little on the line. But no, this feels like a fish. Is it the grip lead fighting back again? Oh, Becky's got another flatty. Can't quite see from here, but it looks like it might be a dab. That little dab! Yeah. What have we got on here is the question. I'm very confident there's a fish on this one. I did get this one out a little bit further. What do we have? Oh no! We have not one, but two whiting. Look at that. I would say perfect specimens, but I think that's overdoing it. We'll get these guys unhooked, get them chucked back, get another rig whacked out. But we're beating a blank now. Not the target, but it's a fish. I'm just reeling in the other one. And I think we might have a treble shot of them here. Oh, need to definitely tighten that up. It's better. The reel is slipping. It's fighting back, I can tell you that. Good old grip lead. Here comes the leader. Oh look, look what it is. Woohoo! Hey, the target species. Look at that, at last. It's not the biggest, but it is what I came for. A very cute little January Plaice. Oh, I thought it wasn't going to happen. We also got the obligatory ting there. There we go. But we're going to get these guys unhooked, get them chucked back, get some baits chucked out for one more cast. So let's get this little guy back. I've just given him a measure, 26 centimetres, so baby Plaice. But it's what we came for. Woohoo! Let's set him free. Just wait for this wave. Off it went. Swam off strong straight away. Well, we're going to check the baits on the right hand rod and then we're going to pack this one away. because it is definitely a bit barky. We've caught the target species, so what better time than just after high tide to call it a day and go home and warm up a little bit. It's nice that we've had a little bit of tide running for the last half the session. No doubt that helped bring those whiting in, as long as the little bit of coloured water we got now. I say helped. It's not really what we wanted today. But that's fishing, isn't it? You can't control everything. All you can do is control what rigs you use, the bait you're putting on, and how far you're sending it. Once you've rocked up on the beach. Woohoo! We have another species. It's a micro dab. But there we go, look. 3 species. It hasn't been a fish field session, but we've had the target species and now we've got the cutest little dab to top it off. We've still got the other one to reel in, so there's still a chance of another place. But there we go, I'm going to unhook this little chap, get him sent back. So we're coming to the end of our January 2025 first Plaice fishing session of the year. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider clicking the like button and maybe subscribing to the channel. We've still got a chance of something on this last chuck. So we get it reeled in and then we're going to call it a day. But hey, we got the target. I was beginning to think it wasn't going to happen. But as I said, 3 had come out along the beach. Not the biggest place in the world, but it is a sign that things are changing. Anyway, I'm going to keep reeling this in. This will be the end of the video now, and I'll see you next time when hopefully there might be a few more Plaice around. Thank you for watching.